Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're not new, my name is Sunny and today's reading is going to be about what can you be breaking, what kind of cycle are you breaking soon or already in the works in. So we have 3 piles. Pile 1 is on the left, pile 2 is in the middle, and pile number 3 is on the right side. Stop the video if you feel like you need more time, otherwise skip to the timestamp in the description or comment section. Very likely it's in the description box. So I'll see you at your pile selection. So I will start with a close-up of pile 1. So pile 1, I'm going to move these. And you have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So what kind of cycle are you breaking? I feel that you might not be talking to yourself so negatively anymore. I think that you're going to be able to be more authentic to yourself. I think you're going to really just like this new version of yourself, but it might take you a bit, not so much. Pentacles is slow, but it is reversed, but it's something that it has to come out of you first and foremost. So I think that you want a drastic change and you want it done right now, but I do think that in the moment you're learning to kind of tread carefully, right? So I think you could be likely starting something new in a different environment, possibly like the kind of cycle I feel envision that you're breaking, more than likely, aside from just feeling down or just not being so positive and upbeat to yourself in this aspect where you're being considerate, right, of how you speak and how you progress and how you actually build yourself up. Pentacles is something that's 3D, but I think in this case it's something that it's something that you can tangibly speak in terms of, if you're building up your confidence, how can you promote yourself to talk to yourself better? Or if you're building up your mindset, maybe you were down in the dumps, maybe you were talked or just pushed away, or weren't always encouraged to be yourself, or weren't encouraged to speak freely without judgment, or constantly being pushed aside, things like that, or for whatever other reason that you might have been given a reason to just not be in the best suitable environment to grow as a person, and really focus. I think anybody can focus on stability once they recover from anything, right? But right now this is the place you're doing. That came out terrible, but that's the kind of environment you're doing right now. You're kind of recovering and trying to rebuild yourself into stability, and once you talk better to yourself, you can create that. I think you're walking away from likely a toxic scenario, possibly the way you might have interacted with others, that you might have just been ignored, or it's likely that you could also had disappointments with people, disappointing conversations, and that's what led you to kind of break the cycle of wanting to become a much better suitable person for yourself. This isn't a cycle you're breaking so much with others, but more so with yourself, that you're putting yourself in the high ground you need to in order to continue to succeed as a person, right? So I think that you're learning to break the cycle of negative self-talk, allowing others to impose themselves and their thoughts onto you, having that state of mind of being always in a low state of confidence, motivation, really putting yourself in a stable environment of being able to proceed with your life, right? So I think that once you become a much more stable person, I think you're going to be able to basically tread as a Knight of Pentacles upright. So the Knight of Pentacles upright is someone that's ready to start fresh, starting new with a new message, a new path. But this Knight is sort of in a chaotic environment at this moment, and I feel like you're walking away from this. So I really hope that message resonated, pile 1. If you don't feel like it resonated with you, pick a different pile. There could be a message there for you, or just maybe one message out of this was meant for you. But again, this is the cycle that you're breaking on your own in regards to how you feel stable. you feel secure. That's what a pentacle is. You're trying to find that earthy and earthly energy to really step yourself into like stable ground. So I hope you enjoyed that pile one. I will go ahead and start with pile number two. Oops. Pile number two, you have the I always struggle with this one. The Hierophant. Yeah. The Hierophant reversed. So what cycle are you breaking, pile one? I wonder if you have some sort of why did I say pile one? I'm so sorry. I think I said it was pile one. I meant to say pile two. The kind of cycle that you're breaking, I for some reason feel that it's relating for some reason to spiritual or religious cycles. Are you like perspectives even at that? Mindsets? Are you changing your philosophies? Are you coming into a new enlightenment? I think you might have been enlightened in some ideas and some aspects. Maybe drastic changes were made recently in your life, or just you had this what I want to keep saying IKEA, not is it epiphany? I think it's you had an epiphany of, I had the word at the tip of my tongue but I lost it. You had an epiphany and then suddenly you were like, light bulb moment. Wow, this was necessary for me to find out because I didn't make sense of this before, or something around those lines of like, oh, I didn't know that. Now this makes sense. Like having you in a state where you might have been a little bit confused, a little bit like, with a sense of like, maybe your mindset was kind of watery or like messy. Just there's a lot of jargon that you needed to kind of clear out, and you were kind of like at crossroads, possibly like you had so many things coming from many different directions in your mindset that you couldn't quite see what was a clear path for you. And I think that now that you have a more clear mindset, or certain things needed to happen or new ideas needed to formulate, where you can kind of navigate these paths a lot more clearly because you came into new information. I think you were in line with knowledge, something around those lines of you changing your perspective because you found new things. And I feel that you likely, for some reason, I just feel you have this is a very spiritual pile. You might have been breaking cycles with like religion, spirituality. I said that earlier, but I just feel that something changed. Whether you were growing up like this, your family, your friends, or your spouse, your siblings, or whatever. Like, there's always somebody that kind of not motivates you, but kind of encourages to follow doctrine, or encourages you to only stick to their thought process. And sometimes you might think similarly, but not quite. You always have a different way of approaching your own beliefs, right? So I think your beliefs are changing. I think that you're also self-inhibiting beliefs about yourself are also changing. You could have been likely attracted to pile one, but only because I feel that there's some amount of message here that resonates with pile one if you are attracted to pile one. But again, it's not everybody. I just think it's like a fraction, not everybody. But I do think that you are changing perspectives, changing your life with a different morality and mindset because you came into new knowledge. I feel you're I think you went back into the drawing board in your head internally. There's a lot of internal energy here. I don't know if I mentioned that in pile one, whether it was external or internal. But for this one, I just feel like I have to point it out for you guys. I'm sorry, my voice is like starting to break, but sorry. I think I said it more clearly for pile one. I think that overall for you, pile two, I think that you're learning to navigate these new thoughts. They're very thought-provoking. I feel like you are in a very thought-provoking mindset in this moment, and I feel that you are learning to kind of navigate with like black and white. There's like gray areas too, right? I think I'm trying to make sense of something. It's like there's gray areas in everything, and I feel that I wonder if you could likely also be like into esoteric, like you you started recently being into esoteric practices, alternative practices, more spirituality, or other alternative religions as well that you didn't grow up with, right? I think that there's a likely case that's likely the case, and I think that you could be shining here. I think you're enlightened and you're shining in this new perspective, but I don't think you're ready to show it off to people, and I think you're breaking off that cycle soon, possibly. But I think that's once you're ready to let the others know that you're very knowledgeable and you have very good instinct, and I feel that you're just, I give yourself a very spiritual, witchy, esoteric, alternative person. Even if you are just religious, you are also a very open-minded person. I feel that you bear no judgment to other practices of beliefs, and I think that you've expanded yourself a lot mentally, spiritually, and I feel like you're becoming one with spirit. I feel you're very in touch with your intuition, I feel, and that's what you're going by. I think you're following your intuition. I feel this is a very strong spiritual pile, I feel. I really like this pile. The more I see it, the more I'm like, man, I feel like you're breaking that kind of cycle of being like a rigid mentality of just thinking of one way to go about things when there's many ways you can go about believing or not believing anything, right? So I think that that's for this pile, that's the kind of cycle you're breaking. I think you're enjoying the mysteries of life, and you're enjoying the new perspectives, you're enjoying this newfound knowledge and intuition that you're learning a different way of believing things. So I hope that helped pile 2. Select a different pile if you were attracted to. If this didn't resonate as well, or just some of it, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I will start with pile 3. You have the 3 of Cups upright, pile 3. So what cycle are you breaking? I feel that you're breaking solitude. I think you're learning to find your tribe. I feel that you likely you're going to meet, or you met people that resonate with you, with your lifestyle, with your life path in this moment. I feel that you are meeting more people with like-minded souls, and I think that you won't feel any lonelier than you might have felt in the previous maybe few weeks, or maybe months. I'm not too sure, but I think that overall you are learning to find your own tribe, and it might have taken you a while to get there. I think I should just get these closer. I think they might have gotten you a bit, maybe not like super long, but I think that you might have taken your time to really get yourself in that place of being able to be heard, because maybe you weren't always. It can be a solitary path if you feel like you don't have anybody else who thinks the same. It doesn't that not thinks the same, but more or less if you think that there's no one else who resonates with what you have to share, it can be a bit lonesome, and it's not always like that. I think everything is a temporary state of mind. You have to upkeep anything, but life comes and goes with ups and downs, and it's always a wheel of fortune, right? So I think that for you, you're learning to really find your people, or mesh with people that really resonate with you, with what you're doing, with possibly your creative projects, your emotions. You can talk to them, you can have fun with them. I think you could possibly meet in a gathering, or a friend's house, things like that. But yeah, I think you have a new passion that you could likely envision yourself sharing with others and people, and you will likely find those people to be in the same spot as you, and you might start your own little club, or you have your example, your own little business, right? Or you met over coffee or drinks and you suddenly really vibe with them and you're having fun. Or you could also be in a support group, a mother support group if you're a new mom or something, right? So I think that you could find yourself in the space where you're being heard, you're being cherished, and you're having fun, and you're having fun with people. You have a message to give to your friends and these people, but they also have, their own cup to share. So I think you guys are kind of, sharing each other's drinks metaphorically, where you're pouring each other a little bit of yourself into somebody else, and then somebody else pours that their cup into your cup, and so on and so on. So I feel that you guys have a lot to share. You have a lot of inner knowledge and a lot of strong emotions that you have to get out there, because you need to, right? It's a very productive thing to know how to navigate your emotional space. So that's what I feel for you, pile 3. I feel that you're going to be able to navigate yourself in your life with a lot more people, friends, support groups, your own tribe. You're going to meet people with like-minded paths as you, and it's going to be fun. I think you're going to have a lot of fun, so hang in there. It's not going to be so stagnant all the time. Again, it's not going to be very quick, but you'll feel like it's very in flow. You guys have a very flowy conversation. You guys might meet in like maybe a coffee shop or a library or a party, someone's house, someone's family is having a birthday party, and you're there. Or you could meet online and you could be, playing games and you suddenly vibe together. I think there's so many situations where you can be in a comfort zone and still, be able to have proper conversations that flow, and you are doing something creative, right? I think there's a skill set, I feel, for this pile that you're doing as you're speaking for the most part. So I hope that resonated, pile 3. Please enjoy your readings, like, subscribe, comment, and share. It helps me out with my algorithm. It's not mandatory, but it's very much welcome if you guys want to. So I hope that every single pile of you stuck around enjoyed their message. So have a great day, because you made it a great day. Great day, not because I told you to, forcing you, you do the work. So thank you all for listening, and thank you all for sticking by. So sorry, I'm trying to straighten them. I always want to leave this like in a proper way, but I never do. So oh well, I tried. So thank you all for sticking by, and have a great day. Bye.